Let's see. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. What's up, real deal? What's up, guys? Hey, hey, hey. We are here. Spirit. Mm-mm-mm. What's up, Natalie's? What's up? I don't know how to say your name. Pasama? Peter. Peter. Single. Hey, TT, you are an amazing gifted reader. I love you. I love you too. I love you guys too. So I haven't done this in a while, but I just feel spiritually guided to do a talk it out. It's been about a year since I did one of these, so we're gonna do one tonight. And the topic is how to budget your time and your energy efficiently. All right, so we're gonna talk about what's disturbing you. So this is more of a open chat type of dialogue. So please feel free to share whatever is disturbing you. Um, Whatever I feel spiritually guided to talk about, that's what we're going to talk about and get some clarity, confirmations. Um, if anyone comes in the chat that disturbs you or makes you feel uneasy and you are a moderator, you can always liberate yourselves in the chat. What's up, Vixen? Hey, John. Miller. So we're just going to chill. We're going to chill and let it flow. Let's see what deck we're going to use. I feel like this energy is in regards to your life purpose. All right, Taurus, whatever you are personally working on to bring into fruition, um, you're trying to budget something. That's the energy that I picked up on. That's what Spirit wants to talk about. Um, and this could just be in regards to like who you want to give your energy to, conversation with people you don't want to talk to. You don't want nobody's negativity rubbing off on you, or, just that everyday interaction that happens where you're constantly having to transmute energy, whether this be yours, okay? So we're not really going to focus on anybody else. This is mainly like a session really just for Taurus, really just for you as the individual. Um, so really think about that. Like, what do you personally feel is hindering you, disturbing you? Is it supernatural? What's irritating you? Um, what's stopping you from moving down a particular path? I feel like all of the cosmic energy, the universal energy is kind of aligning a particular narrow path. But as much as the universe is encouraging you to go down this particular path, something is restricting you from feeling as if you want to even get involved, or even if you want to do it. So I'm really curious to know like what y'all feedback is as far as like what is this thing? You know? What is it? Hey introverted. What's up, Tamika? Wow, from Russia. Welcome. Okay, so Tree said fear. Karmic's throwing magic is very discouraging. So let's see what this fear is exactly. What is this conjured up fear? We're going to use this deck. And then we'll dive into the supernatural. So we're going to start with fear. Spirit, what exactly is this fear? We have justice. Huh. So this is the inner child thing. All right. So what they're saying is in regards to fear, that is something that was conditioned to you, right? That was something that was conditioned to you from a young age. You have the Page of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. So when you're first born and you're a toddler, you don't have any fear, right? You jump off couches, you do whatever it is that you want to do. It isn't until your parents tell you, stop, you're going to fall, bust your head wide open, and then I'm going to have to take you to the doctor, and then this is going to happen. So, time and time again, every time you've taken a leap of faith towards something or you did something that was, you know, no, pointing the finger at you, telling you that's bad behavior, do not do that. You made several agreements like clockwork, okay? It went into your subconscious mind, and every single time that reinforcement that was being manifested. So every time they pointed the finger, they were casting a spell. That spell, you felt like when the manifestation of it happened, that, oh wow, I shouldn't do that. It happened because I didn't listen. It happened because I did what I was told not to do. So as an adult, everything that you feel like you want to do, you have adopted that same type of mentality that the only way for me to avoid mistakes is to make sure that I don't do anything that's going to give me bad karma, that I don't do anything that's going to make me hurt myself. So now it sits on you like a chip on your shoulder, and it can be very paralyzing. So, with this being your reality and your world and what you want it to look like, you have to become the creator. You have to take back that power. And you have to ask yourself if you want to still believe that fear is something that is real. If you believe it's real, it's going to manifest it in real lifetime. So take back the gavel, delete it, or transmute it back into what you want it to be. So if someone says to you, or you have a thought that comes up in your head and it feels very apprehensive or paranoia, or it comes up like, oh my God, I don't know what I should do, you can cancel it. You can delete it. Okay. And you can allow yourself to imagine more positive things, more green flags, rather than always being able to see the red flags, always being able to see what's being done to you. Okay. So now fear has become like a living, breathing entity, and that fear follows you around like a dark cloud. All right. And the objective is to make you afraid of your own imagination, afraid of the dark, right? Everything that's created is created from the dark. So, as creators of our consciousness, when we become aware that it's just fear talking to us, we get to choose, right? Life is about choices. We get to choose at that very moment if we want to believe that that fear is real. All right. And then you can dispel it immediately as the thought comes to your mind. All right. And if you do happen to make a mistake with the Five of Cups, you didn't know it then and now you know it now. So forgive yourself. Even if you fall down, just, you know, fall down some more. What's up, Aziza? Good morning. All right, so let's see what's in the supernatural. What's disturbing Taurus in the supernatural realm? I really feel like what's happening in the supernatural realm is exactly what we just described. It's fear, trying to avoid a disaster, trying to avoid hard lessons, trying to avoid repeating the same lessons, right? All of that is connected, is what they're saying. The tower in reverse is saying some things, sometimes you're meant to fall. And as perfect as you want to be, as organized as you want to be, if you never let yourself fall down, you won't get to see what can come from it. Okay. But it's like no matter how much the universe on a supernatural level wants you to get the lesson from failure, you refuse to let yourself experience the lesson from that. So it just makes it restrict you even more. That's what they're saying. Hmm. Here's what I'm sensing intuitively. For everyone that is big on writing down your goals, sticking to schedules, making sure you're on time, making sure you're punctual, making sure that you are very organized. If you are the type of Taurus that is extremely organized, you're extremely careful, and you dot your I's, you cross your T's. There's a lesson here for you guys. When the universe sends you opposition, you take that as a challenge to be more organized, a challenge to be more logical, a challenge to stick to a particular goal or a regimen even harder. But really, the universe wants you to surrender the need to be punctual, the need to be organized, the need to be perfect, and wait for that spiritual inclination that lets you know, okay, now is the time. Now is the time to do this. You're unable to really pick up on that spiritual, supernatural energy, um, and really allow the cosmic flow to take hold, right? And this goes down to even money, all right? Work, your career. It's all about control. And so the more you focus on trying to be organized to maintain your stability, it's like stability runs away from you, right? So what you want doesn't want you to want it in a way where you make it happen. It wants you to allow it to happen. All right. So think of it like what's something that we do that we have absolutely no control over? Oxygen. The air we breathe, oxygen. We don't ever really try to hold on to the air element. So y'all may have a lot of manifestation of people with air signs in your life, like Libras, Geminis, Aquariuses, that really trigger you because they're so fickle. Okay, their energy doesn't like to be, the wind doesn't like to be bottled up. The wind doesn't like to be caged in. Like you cannot do that, right? It's everywhere. But we're never in a scarcity mentality of whether or not we're going to have air to breathe in the lungs. We kind of just know that there's always going to be oxygen, otherwise, we're dead. So that's the same concept here. When you think about your stability, as long as you know, this is the type of belief they want you to have. Just like the air that you breathe, you don't question if that's going to actually happen. So when it comes to your stability, the things that you have, when it comes to money, the more you focus on not want to lose it and wanting to save it, save it, save it, it starts to hoard energy. But if you look at it like just as I got it, I'm gonna get it right back. Money just gonna keep coming to you because now the money and you have a relationship or understanding that I use it, I let it go. I use it, I let it go. It doesn't belong to me. I don't need to hold on to it. Um, it's not in a scarcity flow. It's not in a karmic flow. It's in a positive movement towards you getting more and more and more and more and more. So it's like you hold on to what you have out of fear that you're not going to have it again. Your money, your clothes, your items, your relationships, all of these different things, they're all connected to that same supernatural cosmic energy that you're unable to see. That is all directly correlated to your expectation. If you're in control of it, you know that that's the only way you can know that it's real is if you're in control over it. And that's why the tower is in reverse. So, and that's why based off of your emotions, whatever you feel, because the King of Cups is about emotional intelligence. Huh. This may be directly connected to a person. If it's not you, like a particular type of person makes you feel unstable, makes you feel possessive. For some of you, when you get around a particular type of energy, they bring out this possessive energy inside of you where either you want to hold on to that person out of fear that it won't last, or you want to stay completely away from them out of fear that it won't last. So either way, you damned if you do and you damned if you don't. But I really feel like as if those type of personality traits that come into your life in the King of Cups energy, where they just have like, oh, it'll come back around, or oh, we'll get some more. It makes you feel like, oh my God, like you really talk about it as if you're not doing something to make sure it's happening, it's not gonna happen. And I feel like these types of connections that you come across, whether it's romantic or platonic, make you feel unstable. So you start holding on to items out of fear, like that you're gonna lose it if you let this person have control, if you let anyone outside of yourself have control. And it comes from experiences where you've once felt like you weren't able to avoid a disaster. So, somewhere along the line on your journey, when you got with someone that was, mm, I feel like this person was careless from your perspective, but this person just don't have a care in the world about the things that you worry over. So, it doesn't make this person wrong for not having a care in the world because they live in their best life. They're going to get it whether they get it from you or the next person. But because you perceive how they go about getting their finances or how they go about getting what it is that they desire, it's like, oh, that's wrong. You should not be doing that. So that's going to get you karma. So I'm going to avoid that disaster by holding back, holding back. I'm going to keep it to myself that I have an issue with this because you can't change this person, which stems to control, right? You can't change this person. So because that opposition of belief, that opposition of perspective affects you on a universal level, it's like trying to hang out with someone or be with someone that is completely opposite from how you perceive stability. And so you run away from anybody that starts to feel like that resistance or that give and take or that push and pull is too opposite. Because this feels like someone that's like complete opposite. They make you feel oversaturated in a particular area of your life. So this kind of stems back to that inner child experience where your parents told you that it was wrong to indulge in a certain type of behavior. So when you see anyone else indulging in that type of behavior, you can't help but to want to point out or be able to like shine light on those flaws or those character flaws that that person has, and that person doesn't like that you are always trying to point out their character flaws. It annoys them, is what I'm seeing here. So, so this person annoys you. It is very irritating because I sense where it's like, what's wrong with you? Why are you like this? Who raised you? Okay. Interesting. Let's see. All right, so Karmic's throwing magic. So Karmic's throwing magic. Karmic's throwing magic. What's disturbing about the Karmic's throwing magic at Taurus? Ooh, hold on. Hold on, y'all. Oh, the Three of Cups. You care about what people say about you. So you give them power subconsciously, right? So, y'all saw how I just used my toes? Got a trick for you. Okay. When it comes to what's being said, hmm, I feel like whatever the karmics are doing, they're meant to teach you how to transmute that negativity to work for you. Yeah, the karmics are really here to expand you. That's why it disturbs you. It's disturbing you because the karmics are meant for you to say, "Ooh, you see how you just threw me that negativity? Now I can take that energy, thank you, and I can transmute it into positive. I can create from it. All energy, negative or positive, is good energy. So kisses, right? Because I heard Hershey kisses. I feel as if the karmics are meant to teach you how to deal with uncomfortable situations, how to deal with opposition, how to, it's meant to like activate something inside of you, where you're like, aha, great idea. Um, and create something with it, expand from it. Like, let's talk about it more. Let's go deeper into it. You have an issue, and it's not about talking directly to them, but it's about opening up the energy that allows for creative topics, that allows for innovative ideas. The karmics serve a very spiritual purpose if you allow them to do what they're meant to do. They're meant to help you see how all of it's connected. If that karmic never said that thing about you, you never felt triggered, you would have never started that business. If that karmic never made you feel that opposition in regards to something that you wanted, you would have never pursued your life purpose. There's a very significant purpose that they possess in your life, but if you're unable to see the benefits, then you haven't learned how to take what's given to you, negative or positive, and make it work for you in an efficient way, because it's all energy at your discretion now. So they're trying to help you activate your own alchemist inside of you. Yeah, that's what they say. It's just like sitting money, energetic currency, just sitting at your feet, hanging, dangling in the air, waiting for you to pluck it. So you become quicker on your feet, you respond faster, right? But you don't really want to deal with those type of situations because you haven't really learned how to come up with a quick comeback without getting triggered. You haven't really mastered how to maintain um your self confidence while interacting with other people that are so much more negative than you. And the karmics show up in more than just romantic areas. They show up in family, they show up at work, they show up in just anything that you're trying to build and see come into fruition. It's meant to make you be like, ooh, challenging. You're not in competition with them, but you're realizing that they are confirming for you that you are expanding, you are growing. So every time you have a karmic coming towards you with such great emotional disdain towards you, they're not going to do that for a nobody. They're not running around here just attacking nobodies. They're attacking people of great purpose. So the universe wants you to see, like, hey, I'm telling you, your confirmation of that manifestation is coming in because all of the karmics are now focused on you. They can smell it. It's like a sense, a sixth sense or something. Nobody's harassing the homeless person outside. No one's harassing people that are doing nothing. They're harassing people that are of great purpose. But if you don't perceive that way, then it'll still keep you in a debilitating, irritated, disturbing frequency. Feel me? Hi, Dixie. Thank you, Robert. That's what they're saying. So what else is irritating you guys? What else is disturbing you? Taurus? There's an a energy here of, when do I know when the universe is telling me to stop doing something? Or when is the universe telling me to pursue something? I feel like Taurus, it's hard for you to discern or decipher when the universe is telling you no or when the universe is telling you yes to pursue a particular dream, a relationship, or whatever it is that you desire, right? Because the moment that you meet a little bit of like a dispute, the moment you get a little bit of pushback, you're like, oh, well, it must not be meant for me. But it's like, how do you really know that it's not meant for you? And I feel like that's kind of what spirit is trying to get you to see. Some of you guys need to be triggered. Some of you guys need to be triggered because there's something inside of you. I don't know. It's like a, you know how you have the little devil on your shoulder and you have the angel on your shoulder. And so the devil is like, get mad, get mad. And then the angel is like, no, don't do that. Don't do this. Don't do that. And then it's like, well, which one should I do? I want to make the right decision. So the plot twist here is the universe is trying to get you to see that there is no right decision. So the more you're trying to decide, well, which one is the right decision to make? Do I listen to the devil or do I listen to the angel? There is a third option, but you have to figure out what that third option is, right? Devil and angel are just two extremes on the same parallel, okay, on the same timeline, on the same spectrum, whatever you want to call it. So, every situation that you encounter in life, think of it like a video game. It's a simulation. You can respond extremely negative or extremely positive, but there's a sweet spot, okay? There's a sweet spot in the middle. What's the third option? The third option is your power. The third option is when you go super saiyan, but you won't really allow that energy out. Something about you won't really allow that out of fear of being judged if you say the wrong things, out of fear if you are a pushover because you're too nice. So there's fear of being persecuted, and then there's fear of being a pushover. So you have to decide and constantly reaffirm to yourself that every time you come across a new situation, every situation is brand new. But Tauruses don't like to see things as brand new because they like to learn from their mistakes and never repeat them. But in order to ride a bike, you have to fall. Um, in order for you to learn how to walk, you had to fall. In order for you to learn how to swim, you had to go underwater and get uncomfortable. Anything in life, life lessons, life experiences, in order for you to evolve, it came from intense pressure. So, what is this third option? Oh, Taurus, I get it. It's like, oh God, just save me, rescue me. Um, you gotta step into the light. You gotta be in the spotlight. Something is a part of being in the spotlight. It's a part of it. And some of y'all just don't want to be in the spotlight. And that's why the universe is constantly, it's not the universe doing it to you, it's you interacting with the universe, right? Every time you say, I'm tired of being betrayed, every time you put that thought out there, I'm tired of getting the short end of the stick, you put that thought out there. Every time you ponder, even for a second, or you think about what has happened to you, what continues to happen to you, you put the target on you, where the universe says, okay, well, now you keep asking me to stop these lessons. So now I need to turn the light on you. And now we need to fix you. You keep wanting to fix everything around you so you feel safe to interact with your environment. But you create the environment. But if you're never able to turn that damn spotlight on yourself and you keep trying to say they, this, them, though, all the external areas, you're going to always miss the most powerful part of the whole story, and that is, what are you thinking? What are you saying? What affirmations are you speaking over yourself? Okay. Healing is a lifetime experience, not a one and done. And so when every time you say, when is it going to be done already? You're really just praying to exit earth. And I feel like they want you to see it as an opportunity versus, like, every day in the present moment is an opportunity to perceive something a different way. Okay, the Ten of Swords. It already happened. You can't go back and change it. If you make a decision and a person just betrays you, it already happened. So now you have to sit with that. But don't sit with it in the perspective where it keeps you stagnant and you don't pursue anything, or that you try to protect yourself so much that you don't engage with anyone. Some of you guys have a martyrdom type of energy about yourself, where it's like you bear this cross like an honor. Like, this is what Jesus went through. This is what I have to go through. This is the path of Christ consciousness. And I don't necessarily feel that that's what source is saying. That's not really what I feel. At any given moment, you can decide that you don't want to perpetuate that narrative that you have to crucify yourself or that you have to be crucified. But in order to change that narrative, you got to change your perspective, right? Otherwise, you're going to always have this X on you, like this target on you, victim energy. Like, oh, it just sucks being a chosen one. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? Let's see. What does that even mean? what, what does that even mean? That means that you're expecting, um, like, you're expecting to be attacked. Your expectation is, I'm expecting to be attacked because in order for me to build this, I'm expecting the worst in order for me to build this, in order for me to have this, whatever it is, you already have it in your subconscious mind. And yes, I am seeing here that you have been betrayed and you have had negative experience, and you have been cyberbullied, you have had spiritual attacks, all those different things. But you had them. So the question is, what do you have now? And if you don't have your mind in the right perspective, you're going to keep having these same experiences right here, right now, in the present moment, because you keep remembering how you had this happen to you. Okay. Huh. Spirit, give me better words. I feel like I need to come up with the right words to put this into a perspective that you can understand. So just give me one moment. Um, okay. You have become codependent on needing other people to tell you who's lying to you, to reveal to you what you need to look out for, what you need to know so you can avoid pitfalls. You have become reliant and codependent. So you replace the void of leaving your karmic relationships with the void of other people telling you what is happening behind the scenes so you can be 10 steps ahead of people. Okay. However, like a computer, the more you look into it, the more you see what's happening. That's all you see. So you have nothing else to really hide behind. You have nothing else to really look into. Because I feel like what happens is at this point, something's starting to sound repetitive. So for those of you that starts to feel like, oh, I'm hearing the same thing about the same karmic, it's so repetitive. Like spirit is doing that on purpose to show you that you've heard it so much, but it hasn't changed your reality. So what have you gained from it? Is pretty much what they're saying. So I'm gonna tell you the same thing that I told you yesterday and the day before that and the day before that until you get sick and tired of hearing it. And so until you get sick and tired of hearing the same repetitive message over and over and over again, and you realize, wait a minute, did I replace a void with a void? Like, did I replace one habit, one codependency pattern for another? Because they're showing me that it's gotten to a point where you be telling the readers what their cards say. You be telling the people that's giving you a message of what's happening. You be like, let me tell you what's happening. I know this too well. I know exactly what's going on. Bob, Peter, Jamie. Yep. You just come. Yep, I know it's happening. So at this point, you can interpret it. At this point, it's time for you to become a reader. At this point, you can predict the next 10 steps. Ta-da! So now Spirit is saying, congratulations, you've activated a gift. Now use your powers. Congratulations, you know how to interpret. Now what you are going to use from that? How are you going to take that and apply that into your own, like, hello, you were afraid. You were once afraid of ghosts, but you listened to spirits all day. What you afraid of now? So that's like a major trick that they pulled on you. To the point where you're like, no, I got another meaning off the justice card. No, I think that this one actually meant this. I know exactly what it was saying. But thank you for your time. So at this point, you need a channel. At this point, you need to utilize your new discovered gift, because they're saying that it's been extremely hard for you to see your own potential, but you've been extremely good at telling other people what their potential is. So you're a great advisor. You don't have to do tarot, But you could pretty much tell a person how to solve a problem. Um, how you got over a situation. You are a master at something, and it's being revealed to you based off of the repetitive betrayals that you've experienced. If you have gone through many narcissistic relationships and you had to come to terms with, well, hey, I attracted a narcissist, so part of me is a narcissist as well. I'm a narcissist in some degree. I may not want to see that about myself, but it's the truth. I may not be an extreme narcissist, but in some capacity, I have narcissistic tendencies. So now, with all that information, you can write a 10-step study method on how to identify if you're a narcissist, how to identify certain personality traits, how to, you know, this is what, this is why you were guided to those confirmations. It was to show you something about yourself. But the first step is acceptance, right? Once you've gone through a certain series of rehabilitation, right? On a spiritual level, it's no longer rehabilitation if you're not able to take what you have learned and then apply it into your life. So in this phase of development, they're saying that all we need you to do now is just accept that have you have enough. You have enough wisdom, knowledge, understanding to put things, to be a leader in a particular area of your life. That's where your karmic justice is going to come from. That's where your retribution is going to come from. Not from you just getting over it and trying to avoid all the challenges in the world, but to challenge yourself to continue evolving, to challenge yourself to continue looking at these experiences, taking it with a grain of salt, replanting it on fertile ground, which is in your subconscious mind, and allowing it to grow, okay? That new affirmation that you want to plant in your subconscious mind, you have to plant it. And then you have to water it, right? Allow it to grow. And then it will reap you a harvest with a different reality. It'll reap you a harvest with a higher perspective of an experience. But until you make that transition where you're planting it deep within that subconscious realm, it's just barely scratching the surface and it's just whirling out in the clouds, right? It's just in the clouds. It's just an idea. But because you have that idea, it's already real. So you don't have to doubt if that imagination or that thought is a real thing. It's already existing, it's already happening, right? Yeah. There's some people that like to read, right? And then there's some people that don't really prefer to read. You prefer to listen. You learn through auditorio, right? You may prefer to listen to audio books. You may prefer to listen to a particular type of way. Every book that you learn, that you listen to auditorially, it is because you perceive it. Um, it has to be interpreted by you. So you have a unique interpretation of every book you read, whether you read it manually or you read it auditorially. Um, every conversation, every experience, they want you to start taking that and allowing it to transmute into your own interpretation. Your unique interpretation is what humanity is missing. Okay? That's what it's missing. And that's where your blessing lies. I feel like there's a pearl just waiting for you to come out of your shell. Okay, okay. I don't know, someone could be Asian or Japanese because I was going to say, okay, okay, okay. Mm-hmm. But this is the only way to get you moving, Taurus, is the universe that they have to, your spiritual team has to trick you. They have to wait until you get sick and tired of being sick and tired in order for you to do anything. Love the hair, big up. Thank you, Kenny. What's your favorite song? All of them. Every song ever created. Yes, there's something spirit wants to give birth to. Look at this achievement here. First prize. You see this? Notification. We have some other things going on here. So we're going to shift gears a tad bit because I'm picking up on Tauruses that have, you may have a small budget to produce something. Excuse me. Like release something. Like maybe you need to put something out, you need to talk about something, you need to release it. You may have, very little to work with in a budget to put together a performance, put together, um, this could be a song, this could be a bestseller book, this could be anything, but you want to get something off your chest. Okay, you got something to get off your chest. And I feel like you are putting it into a book, you're putting it into some type of, I don't know, visual artwork, paints. But you have a very small budget to work with, or that's what I'm hearing right now. Even though you have been putting something out or you're trying to put something out, you're not letting it come from the gut. Okay? I'm going to need you to push that out like nut bush. All right? That's what Spirit is saying. You're playing it safe when it comes to some type of creation that you're trying to put out, and you're trying to be politically correct. You're trying not to get canceled. You're trying not to say something. But in order to really give birth to this new version of you, you're going to have to spit fire. Okay? Put it in the track, put it in your words, craft those words like you're speaking to yourself. Because I just feel like there's this fear of like you don't want anyone to look at you in a weird way or look at you like a freak or look at you like you're crazy because what you may be talking about may feel like it may not. You're asking yourself, I don't know if people is really ready for this. I don't really know if the world is really ready to hear what I have to say. I don't really know. Like, you'll never know unless you just do it. But because you're a people pleaser, you care about what people say. Okay? Because it's like you have allowed the external environment to make you sound gimmicky, to make you sound like everyone else, to make you sound like it's giving very pop, it's giving, you know, You want it to be aesthetically pleasing to everyone that ever sees it, and you can't please everybody, right? And the more you try to make it aesthetically pleasing, where everyone can vibe to it, everyone can enjoy it, everyone can like it, that's a lot of people to please, okay? That's a lot of people to please. And then to base your entire foundation on that premise, you're going to feel disappointed anytime that you don't get the hit the mark the way you expect to, right? But what if the mark that you're trying to hit is waiting on you to unleash yourself? You know what I'm saying? Like, unleash yourself. Become naked, vulnerable, right? If you have a spiritual power or ability, and you craft those words so meticulously to the point where you're pretty much like you're describing something to the point where you can taste it. If you can't taste your own, like if it don't hit all your own senses inside of you and it doesn't make you feel like all your six senses are simultaneously pressured, like pointed or pressed or something like that, then you're not giving it your all. That's what they're saying. Like, you're playing it safe. You have something inside of you, man. Like, if I could describe, like, I could see it here. Like, you have something to say. You have something inside of you, but it may be very sinister. Okay? It's not going to be, I feel like it's not going to be, it may validate for other people what they have suspected about you all along, being dark or being manipulative or being seductive or being, because according to them, based off of the low budget that you have, based off of the restrictions that have been placed around you physically, you shouldn't be able to produce this, you know? And so you're trying to ride the high vibrational side so much to the point where it's like it's coming off really cheesy with this sun here and the death here. It's like it's making it difficult to really for anyone to experience the real you, the real authentic version of you, you know? And maybe you like a little mystery. And if you like a little mystery, that's okay too. Mystery is good. But you can suggest, okay? You can tickle their third eye a little bit better than that. You can tickle their fancy just a little bit, you can tweak it just a little bit. And it's like, wait a minute. Let me write those bars down. Let me reread it. Let me reread that statement. You know, let me reread it back to myself. Did I hear what I thought I heard? Yes, that's the impression that you need to leave. That's the realm that you need to explore. Because this other realm of just like hit after hit after hit and it's good, it's good, it's good. But it ain't really like soul snatching. And Tauruses, y'all are soul snatchers, okay? Yes. Y'all are. Yes. In order to get what you want, my tongue is getting tied. You know what that means? Your tongue is tied. Your tongue is tied. Manners, 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 manners. You have really been conditioned to mind your manners. Be a good guy or gal, you know? So the freak only gets to stay at home, you know? And when I say freak, I'm not just meaning sexual. Get y'all mind out the gutter. I'm talking about the freak that everyone is going to portray you as. Freak of nature, supernatural, alien. They're going to do it whether you do or you don't, like air you breathe. Consider them a part of the air. They're a speck in the universe. And that to society is very narcissistic, right? To think of yourself in that type of way, to be that confident about yourself is considered arrogant. And it's like, oh, nobody wants an arrogant person. Humble yourself. No, it's time that I'm talking to those of you that have been humbling yourself far too long to the point where it has oppressed you. Now, if you know you got a big head and you are the opposite of that extreme, I ain't talking to you. But if you know that you've been holding yourself back, because you don't want to come off arrogant, or you don't want to come off prideful, or you don't want to come off this, like, this is your moment to shine bright. And you've been waiting for permission, like, but what if I do this and like God is mad at me? I think God is cheering you on. I'm telling you, the devil. And you're like, no, that's evil. I mean, you've come this far. You're watching tarot, right? You get readings in secret, some of you guys, and you're very curious about a lot of different things. You have questions, but you refuse to jump off the edge because you're afraid that you're going to lose yourself in the process of that, going down that rabbit hole. In order to experience who you truly are, you got to lose yourself, your identity, the identity that you were born with, the person you were told to be, groomed to be, you know? And ask yourself if the journey towards discovering who you really are on a soul level is worth exploring. And when you get there and you are almost about to touch the God inside of you, you got to ask yourself. Only you can make that synchronization really align and really click for you. You got to go and meet your demons. Like, hey, how are you? What's your name? Oh, nice to meet you. So you're that little fucker that was bothering me my whole childhood. Yeah, you have to go and meet your demons. How my demons look. And I mean that metaphorically, figuratively, literally, symbolically, allegorically. Just kidding. No, I mean what I mean. Because I can see y'all demons. But this ain't what you're going to portray. You're not going to put this on a resume. You're not going to put this energy out there on a resume. But part of y'all like someone else being able to see it. And you just know it. But someone else sees it. But no one else knows. And it's like, oh my God, can you see me? No. Yeah, we can see you. We can see you. Look at that. You got to become the fool. Start a new chapter. Remodel yourself. Reinvent yourself. Some of you guys, this is rebranding. This is remodeling. Okay. Physical transformations. Giving birth to that version of yourself that you see in the mirror. You know. The future visions that you've had of yourself. You've had dreams of yourself. Where you climbed that mountain, you did that deep sea diving. There's things that you want to do. But it's like when I save up for it, when I have enough to do it, that's that budget energy. You budgeting too much, bringing us right back to budget. The hangman energy. No matter what you do, okay? What Spirit is saying, no matter what you do, you can sage until you blue, red, white, and blue. But you still have a problem. This tarot deck don't have no name. It just says 78. I stumbled across it. You know. So before we go, guys, is there anything else that's disturbing you? So Mac says he doesn't know where to. I don't know where to start. Your daily mission in the present moment. Your daily mission, your daily goals that you speak outside of your mouth. Make it a. Just start saying nice things to yourself. Look in the mirror. I am this. I am that. Affirm. Not what you're gonna do. You have to speak as if you already have it, right? So, I have a 6-pack. That's what I heard. I have a 6-pack. That's what it says. I am a multimillionaire. I have an infinite amount of money in my bank account every single day. But multitask. Don't stop your day just to sit there and say that and be like, oh, I got to stop everything just to say that. No, as you're going in, as you're sitting in the car and you're going to work, instead of just listening to music, say it to yourself. Every negative thought that you have, if you write, I don't like my face, right next to it. I love my face. My face is handsome. I have the most aesthetically pleasing face to myself. You know, you have to speak these things over yourself to change your belief systems. That's where you start. You do that on a daily basis as you're multitasking. And you don't question whether or not it's going to happen or if it's happening. You just know it's happening. Right? And you forget about it. You keep doing it. And then, ta voila. Before you know it, like, wait a minute. This thing really does work. Might increase it. My money opportunities are coming towards me. I have investments. I have leads. I have things taken off from me. I have positions for, I'm being offered this or offered that. Okay? You start there. Recovering. I don't really know what that means. Recovering. Lots of drama. So a lot of drama is disturbing you. Why is the what about this drama is disturbing Dakota? I wouldn't say that it's necessarily the drama. You feel as if the drama is preventing a reconciliation from happening. And so you have blamed the drama as the reason why you haven't heard from someone. And the more you don't hear from that person, the more you hyper attune to the drama and trying to figure out why I haven't heard from this person, why we're not together, why we're still in separation, why I'm alone, why do I feel lonely? And the question is, if you don't like the feeling of the drama, why wait around for the person? I think the message that you're trying to get or give yourself is to let go, but you can't really let go because you're hoping it'll turn around. So you're stuck in between now and then, now and then. And the more you're stuck between the past and now, you become anxious of the future. And so it's like, the sky is awake, so I'm awake. You can't sleep, can't eat, can't drink, can't think. Not sure what my dreams mean, and that's disturbing you. Mm-hmm. Well, your higher self. Mm-hmm. Your dreams are trying to tell you to. Oh, I'm hearing that song. I put your picture on my mirror. I took that shit down. Mm-hmm. I don't know her name. Yeah, you are. Your dreams is confirming that you're about to have a glow up, a level up. Okay, you finna become a baddie. And I feel as if you're trying to be wholesome about something and you're trying not to lose your integrity, but it's triggering something inside of you. And it's really just, you know, it's an activation. It's an activation. So you're going to find yourself your dreams are just confirming that it's time to go and put that outfit on that you waiting to wear. It's time to go and do your makeup, do your hair. It's time to live like it's golden, living your life like it's golden now, not tomorrow, now. So whatever's happening in your dream is intended to trigger that reaction. So you said your ascension is disturbing you. Why is your ascension disturbing you? Ten of Swords. Because you feel like you have to decide between two paths that you're not sure if you're ready to walk down. And again, this goes back to what I said at the beginning, which is I want to do what God is calling me to do, but I don't really want to have to leave behind a particular path. So, hmm, is it God? Gold. Is it God calling you to do this, or do you feel as if you want to do this? If there's something that you don't like and you don't want to do it, then God ain't asking you to do it. But you feel as if you have to go through something, you have to endure something. And I feel like that stems from self destructive behavior. Like, in order to be divine, you have to go through so much, you know, so much ascensions, and you have to have so much targets on you. And it's a part of the spiritual journey, it's a part of the spiritual path. In order to ascend, mm, really the ascension is only about you becoming aware. It's making you aware that you have a choice, that you're making the choice. So the ascension is only as uncomfortable as you're resisting that own realization that I'm the one making the choice. There's no external God doing this to me. I can't blame the God of the Bible. I can't blame my pastor. I can't blame my parents. I'm choosing this path. I'm choosing this reality. So this ascension is making sure that you do not get to hide behind that facade that God is inflicting this upon you. Okay, that's a very biblical perspective. You are a co creator. So this ascension is here to make you aware that at any given moment, if there's any type of reality that you do not personally agree with or desire to have, that you are the co creator as within, so without, whatever it is, as above, so below. You know that little thing that they say? Yeah, that's what it's meant to show you, the infinity symbol. So when you feel indecisive about a decision and you're like, I'm waiting on God to tell me a reason, you're externalizing it. You're externalizing the choice so you can feel like you can blame God later if things don't happen the way you want it to happen and say, God put me through this. No, God didn't put you through it. You chose this. Whether you make a decision or don't make a decision, all of it is still a direct communication to the universe, and the universe is going to respond to you based off of how you think, believe, and so shall you achieve, right? That's pretty much what your disturbance is, you. Mm. As you're going through this transition, you said you can't get to your therapist. As you're going through this transition or difficult period, look for ways to smile. Look for things to laugh about. Watch a comedy show. Try to do things that'll help you lift your spirit um, as you go through as you go through trying times, right? When you want to replace depression, anxiety, or any of those emotions, from my own personal experience, because I am not a therapist, but as someone that has battled with depression, anxiety, all those things, they're very much alive, right? You have to make a conscious decision to find things to laugh at, to find things to be humor. Humor is going to be your saving grace. You may not be able to go out there and buy certain things to make yourself physically feel better, but you can look for small things to laugh about. That you can watch TV, but instead of watching drama, you can watch Comedy Central. Just find things to laugh about as you go through that transition. Um, Go for walks in the park, sit outside in nature, and just enjoy the present moment, because this too shall pass. That's what I always told myself. This too shall pass. If I have to be here, whether I was in a hospital, whether I was at home, my hospital was a 5-star resort hotel. So every time I had to spend the night there, we had room service. I chose the reality that I wanted to live. I wasn't going to be there and be in agony and pain in regards to my circumstances. So I'm saying with the Six of Swords, no matter what your circumstances may be, you can choose to perceive it differently. All right, imagination, let it go wild. I'm not saying go wild as in you start thinking the worst, but I'm saying celebrate the small things. If you got up in the morning, celebrate it. Oh, I got up in the morning. If you walked to the mailbox, oh wow, walk celebrate your small wins right now and you'll start to see a major shift until you can get to your therapist. Bars, okay? I'm grateful I scrolled up on you. Oh, thank you, Kim. Yes, I'm grateful for being alive. Controlling word vomit on issues that aren't issues anymore. Mm-hmm. You know how when we have kids, well, if you don't have children, you don't know this, but anytime, even if you are around other people's kids, children, we become like, oh my God, there's a child in the room. We have to start looking at ourselves as children. What do we want our children and our inner child to hear? If you can protect a random stranger child and you won't curse around the child and you won't say certain things because you don't want to give that child a negative perspective and you don't want to say certain things that they'll repeat because they're sponges, we forget that our inner child is still with us. So if you don't want your inner child to repeat that, don't talk to yourself that way. So that's one of the things that you can use to help you remember, right? That I may feel like I'm just saying something, but my inner child is absorbing it. And then that inner child is going to affirm it for you. Our subconscious mind is our inner child. All right. Thank you, Money Train. Battling your own mind. Hmm. I feel like with battling your own mind, I don't know. This is giving me Prince Charming energy. Okay, white and the romanticism. I feel like the only battle here is reality versus fantasy and the expectation of this um, knight in shining armor coming to whisk you away like Cinderella or a fairy tale, and then feeling it. What would it wouldn't be such a bad thing if you weren't let down when that person doesn't manifest, right? So you start to be like, oh, I should just stop this. I should just stop thinking that this is even real. And you beat yourself up about it. But if you want to believe that Prince Charming is out there, believe it. But if you are telling yourself that it doesn't exist, then you're pretty much saying every time I ask for something, I really don't want it. And so the universe is just going to say, well, then because you don't believe that Prince Charming is real, then I can't give it to you. So it's like your relationship with belief is where your issue is stemming from, you know? So your visual two eyes, your glasses, you got to adjust your vision. Because you have this fantasy idea of your person and what they're going to be like and who they are. And when your physical eyes are not manifesting that, then you're like, okay, it's not here yet. But you have to date that person right now, like they're already with you. So go out on dates with yourself, give yourself flowers, um, buy yourself gifts, intentionally care for yourself romantically as if you are. It was easy to do this as kids when we pretended to play house and have husband and wife. We didn't doubt whether or not, when we were like, "Hi, how you doing?" We didn't doubt whether or not we were actually talking to someone, and if they were actually responding. In our head, we responded like, "Go walk, go take out the trash." Like, we responded in a way where we knew someone was talking to us, and that's because they were. If you believe it, okay, okay, okay. So don't ever give up on your fantasy, and separate it and become like, have like this imposter syndrome where you're just like, oh, it's just a fantasy. You're fantasizing about it because you believe it. So just accept that it's real and start doing it. Or if you don't want to, then change it. But you do have, um, you're not going to meet that person behind the computer screen or the telephone. You have to go outside in public. Okay? Get in your car and physically date someone. Financially scared. So you're what's disturbing you is your fear around. Oh, I know your problem. Financially scared, huh? I dropped my cards. Um, I think what you're scared of is either you've been someone's sugar mama or sugar daddy before, and you've taken care of someone financially and you love them and you cook for them and you help them increase their money. I feel like the fear comes from, you have a tendency to build a bear, okay? Even if you're unhappy, you know that you deplete yourself in order to love another person. And that's what scares you, is that you may do that again. Or if you're in the same situation, you may feel as if you have pretty much settled. All right, if you're in a relationship, you kind of have a fear that this person may take everything when they leave you if you're in a relationship, and you just want this person to do nice things for you and treat you well. That's all you're really asking for. So I feel like the values have to change because love can't be bought. That's what I'm seeing here. So even though you're not happy, if you walk away from somebody, you could lose all your money, or they could take all the money when they leave. And so you're in a little pickle there. Well, it's a little pickle if you're in a relationship. But even if you're not in a relationship, if you haven't changed your values on finances and love, and it's not distorted, then you may find yourself in a situation where someone is either using you for money or you're using them for money. And that's not love. That's codependency. So change your values and what you value in a relationship, and you won't have to worry about finances so much, because you would understand that everything, even money, requires. Nothing is free. Nothing is free in life, right? So even if you just want to love someone, it's not free to love someone, and it's not free to be loved. You all are exchanging values, and what you value So you have to be very secure in what you value in yourself, so that way that's communicated to that partner without it being misunderstood. Otherwise, they'll buy you or you'll buy them. And that's why I was picking up on sugar mama or sugar daddy type of vibes. Hey, Jasmine. Hmm. Please don't go. Mm, So Tamika, I got that song. I feel like you dread breakups. What's disturbing you is your the process of relationships. You dread the breakup part, the detaching part. Y'all going y'all separate ways. That's the hardest part to deal with. So if you've dealt with relationships where y'all had ugly breakups, you kind of talk to yourself like, how did you not see the flags? How did you not know to stay away from this person? You start beating yourself up, chastising yourself in a negative way. If you got in an unhealthy relationship and you got out of it, it's over. It's over. Um, I didn't know what I know now then, and I'm over it. You have to learn how to let go a lot better, and that will strengthen your intuition. Because even when you have an intuitive nudge that someone else is up to fuckery, maybe you're meant to be a lesson in their life, right? So even if you come across people that aren't on your level, you still have to understand that it's not always about you and it being like for me, what's for my lesson. Sometimes we're aligned with people that are may not be on our spiritual level or our mental development level or emotional level. So we can break bread with them and we can exchange values and perspectives, which then helps them and prepares them for their relationship. So while they're in your life, you enjoy them, but you don't have to hold on to them. So if you come across someone and y'all are just dating for 2 weeks, enjoy the 2 weeks that you have with them and let them go when it's time to go, or vice versa. Um, and that will kind of teach you how to be more in the present moment. No one can ever ghost you in that energy. No one can ever disappear on you because you just haven't heard from them. That's all. Hope they're doing well. Thank you, Store. What to do next? Anything to get ready for? Let go of the budgeting system that you have around interacting with people. If you view your energy and your time on under a limited supply, then you're draining yourself already before you get into the situation, before you get into the relationship. If you view your energy and your time as an unlimited supply, when you feel like it's time to engage, you'll engage. And when you feel like it's time to not engage, you won't engage. But you won't have to hold on to it. You won't have to feel as if I gotta reserve this for this person, or I have to reserve this for a rainy day, or I have to hold on to that because I don't know when I'm going to get some more. Think of your energy like air. It's an infinite supply. You are abundance. You are Taurus energy. Taurus energy is abundance is your middle name. Okay? Spirit's trying to help you make abundance your first name. So just like oxygen, this is how we all have 24 hours in a day. But to a person that is living off of infinite abundant supply, you're never tired. You may never get hungry. You may never really be sleepy. You may feel there are certain things that transcend when it comes to you tapping into an infinite abundance in regards to your time and energy. Um, and I feel like they want you to practice what that feels like. And you get better with it the more you confront these fears. You'll get better with it, and then you'll be like, you'll hear people start to affirm that is really happening for you, because they'll be saying, how do you do all these things with all this little time? And they'll start trying to figure out how you're doing it. How are you able to perform all these different roles and not feel drained or not feel tired or not feel angry? And it comes from that same transmutation, right? There's an infinite supply. It's an infinite supply. So I feel like that's what's next, is practicing with that. What that looks like in your personal realities. You're welcome, Tree. Thank you, La. After 37 years married, he did take it all. Whew. Kat, I'm going to tell you what I told myself when I got divorced. When you really value your mental health and your peace above any relationship, anything that you lose in relationships, whether it's finances, money, stuff, those things you can always get back. But you can't get back your mental sanity. You can't get back your peace of mind. And you can't get back the potential of you. So, really, when I think back to that version of myself and now, I'm winning, not losing. And neither are you. You're only losing if you feel as if they took something from you. Happiness is worth more than anything. Joy is worth more than anything. So, all the other stuff, you can get that back. Okay? You can get that back. If you want it, enjoy it for however long you have it, and then let someone else have it. What's up, Tavares? That's what I say. Like, which one would you prefer? Okay, so let me give you an example. When when I moved from my last apartment, right? I have this thing where, like, I will have furniture, I'll have stuff, but every time I move, my mom always would say to me, and she's a Taurus too. She'll be like, "Why aren't you taking the stuff with you?" I believe that while I was in that environment, those items served its purpose. And now it's time for me to allow someone else to utilize it. It did what it was supposed to do for me, right? I took care of it, I nurtured it, I preserved it, and I can give it away. And it's like, I don't even care to sell it. I rather just give it, right, and allow it to go wherever it can go. Like, let it go. Starting over from scratch is very uncomfortable, but it feels really good. It feels really good. So, to my mom, who's used to hoarding everything and she's used to keeping up with the real McCoy and constantly refurbishing and taking things from one storage to the other and repackaging and repurposing and using it and having quality. That's great. Yeah, that's great. But I really feel like it would behoove Tauruses to realize that you can't take none of that stuff with you to the grave. You can't, unless you're going to have them, if you're getting cremated, they can burn everything with you and then you can take it with you. But for the most part, we're all just down here enjoying the skin that we're in and we're enjoying the items that we all innovate and create. But none of it really, we can't take it with us. We can't. What are we going to do? Put all my shit in the tomb with me? No. What? That's outdated. No. Gotta pack light. Okay, it's not fun being the bag lady. Shoot. I hate carrying a purse. Sometimes. I don't like schedules. I don't like routines. I don't, this is why I don't really do personal readings anymore because I don't care for appointments. I don't like appointments. Wait, I'm gonna take my jewelry with me. Yeah, you can. My blocking a new love by not being able to let go of someone that was murdered unexpectedly, whom I thought would be my person. If so, how do I let him go? Just talk to him now. He's gone. Well, Nicole, my condolences. And I'm gonna say I know how hard that is. I did lose someone that I thought was my person as well. What was that? 2021, I think. Mhm. So I know how painful that is. I would say don't rush it. Even if you want to let go on your terms, I feel like it has to happen naturally. Even when I had got a mediumship reading done by someone that I personally used to go to, and that person, interpreted that, he pretty much wanted me to date again and live my life and stuff like that. It didn't really give me the closure that I thought I would have immediately. It made me feel okay about it, but it took time. So I would definitely say going into that relationship, I feel like if you go into that connection and you connect with that person, they will help you transition. I really feel like from my own personal experience, right? I feel like his soul helped me process my emotions when it came to relationships and letting go of things. He also helped me spiritually with developing my own personal spiritual gifts. So if you feel comfortable with it, and you trust that person, it may be divinely guided. That's what it was for me. Um, so even though I thought he was my person, he was to a degree because he was the person in my life that helped me see that real men do exist. And if I didn't have that period of time with him, I wouldn't have been able to let go of my karmic relationship. Okay, so that transition between me being in a karmic relationship and then me having a short period of time with someone before they die, um, where everything I had ever wished for, I thought I was able to, I was having, and the dynamics between the two, um, so it opened my perspective because I came up from a broken home, broken relationship. My father wasn't a great role model, so I had my father on one end, and I had a passed over loved one, um, romantic lover that I personally like worked with. So between my deceased father and then my deceased spiritual connection. So come to find out, um, he was always meant to transition that way. He was always meant to be a life partner. So he was a destined life partner, but he wasn't my person like that I would grow old with. So that was, I would say, it just took time. It took time. But the more that you ask those questions and journal about it and things like that, you'll start to see, okay, it starts to have aha moments where it's like, okay, that happened because I was meant to be at that location at that time. This happened because I was meant, all those events were meant to happen exactly how it happened, even death, you know? Definitely. My heart goes out to you. You are so, I understand that for sure. But I really feel as if like whether it's, like anytime you lose someone, it just changes your whole perspective around life and death. And I wouldn't be the type of medium that I am today if it wasn't for my relationship with the spiritual realm. And when he left, because they have like a spiritual contract, right? So I was so distraught, right? And then the spiritual contract was a certain amount of years were was destined for me to for us to experience the flesh together, and then there was a contract as well for us to experience each other in the spirit. So because I trusted him from our fleshly experiences, I didn't doubt my own intuition when I heard his voice spiritually. You get what I'm saying? So it may be a mediumship gift that comes from it. You never know, right? But I would definitely say go into it. Don't run from it because it may be like a part of your own awakening. So even when that contract ended in the spiritual realm and it was like, okay, the rest is you, like he let me know, like I've done my part and now it's time for me to go. So they will stay with you if they have to, but for the most part, they're always trying to encourage you to let go, um, and process those emotions. He said, tell you something to make you feel good. What you want to hear? It's almost like you can relax because if you miss a lesson, yeah, get comfortable. Get comfortable. Gonna be here for a minute, or you die young, But mm-hmm. I'm at this transition. It's okay if you get sidetracked. Once I feel like once you learn how to course direct, focus on the you know how they say your rod and your staff they comfort you. Once you learn how to auto tune, how to reattune, realign. No matter what you go through, you create that ritual for yourself that will help you readjust. So no matter what you go through, the moment you feel a little like your spirit is being wavered or pulled in a particular direction that doesn't align with you, you can say, okay, this is the where I need to course correct. This is where I need to like make adjustments. But you don't have to be so extreme. And that's where that perfectionism of giving yourself permission not to be perfect and to be flawed, and accepting all those flaws and accepting the fact that you are still human, right? You don't have to be have that imposter syndrome where you're so detached from your flesh and the discomfort that comes along with being a human, that you are a earth angel having a human experience like I can't wait to leave this place. You're here for a minute, you know? I started to think love isn't real anymore. Well, yeah. If you're disconnected from feeling love or loving yourself, you will believe that love isn't real. So you have to love yourself. I'm not saying love your ego and what you have and who you are or your status, or love yourself. You'll know love is real because you love yourself. Have you allowed yourself to love again since his death? Absolutely. Yeah. Excuse me. Mhm. I'm a big lover. I love very big. So for me, um, I'm a big lover. I feel like I don't know, I'm just hardwired that way. So it may be different. Like if you have, I feel like territorial and possessive energy gets really misconstrued sometimes, right? I'm the type of lover where I don't need validation really to feel love. I just know it. I don't know how to explain it. So with him for particularly, mm, I wasn't jealous. I wasn't very jealous with him. With anybody else, I probably say I have had experiences of being jealous. But with him particularly, I wasn't jealous. We had the type of relationship where it's just security. I just knew that no matter who he talked to or whoever I talked to, we just always knew that we loved each other. So that just was one of the things that if I just trusted it. So when I decide to love someone, it's not contingent on them. It's really a me thing. So I know I'm probably saying this real wild, but I have big love. I could love a lot of people at the same time. It's not exclusive in that way where, yeah, it's not exclusive in that way. Now, if you're talking about sexual and all that other type of energy, yeah, that's exclusive. But to like open my heart, because I don't view sexual energy as love. It's an expression of love, but it's a different levels to it. So I feel like when you were describing, have I allowed my heart to be open? Yes, my heart is wide open, and that's not subjective to just one person. And I wouldn't want anybody to just be subjective with their love to just exclusively me, right? Because if I try to be with someone that has the type of love where they can't love other women and they can't love other men and they can't give that wholeheartedly, then he would become jealous of the way that I love wholeheartedly because he can only perceive love from one on one, mano a mano. Um, so from a heart chakra perspective, I would run into certain situations where it's like, oh, I feel like you love them, like you love them too. And I'm like, I do. I love that person. I love that person. I love that person. And then they was like, no, but I feel like you really love them. I'm like, I really do, because I really care about them and I really want to see them do well. I love all damn near 18,000 of you. And I've never seen you, but I felt you and I love you. And that's something that, whether a person had a million people that they were expressing love with or one person, I wouldn't want that person to just look at me as the sole source of their love. And so that's kind of where I'm trying to describe how it's a tad bit different, you know? So the sexual tie or the sexual intimacy, yeah, that's more exclusive. I don't feel like I have to explain that part, but the heart, a lot of people have closed heart chakras, and you can kind of tell when you try to like knock on their heart a little bit, like doot doot doot. They be like, oh, you trying to get into my heart space, and it's like, well, of course. Why wouldn't I want to be in your heart space? Why wouldn't you want to be in my heart space? Type of thing, you know. But it's really scary for people when they feel like because they can become obsessed, very obsessed. Okay, you get it. I was like, I hope I'm explaining that right. I'm not saying polygamy and all that stuff, but y'all get what I'm saying. I'm just gonna leave it there. Okay, thank you, Nicole. What's up, Netta? You had me in my feelings when I thought you were done. Well, what I do? In a good way or a bad way? I hope it was a good way. I'm doing good. Doing good. Best way to connect with spirit is what you already do. What you already do. I wouldn't do anything different than what you already do. Come as you are. With spirit, you come as you are. So your body is like the church. Your body is the vessel. It's the house, right? And so all day long, cooking in the kitchen, taking a shit on the toilet, eating your food, that's your homegirl, your homeboy. You know, I complain all day to spirit. But look at this. Look at this broccoli. Look at this broccoli, spirit. Got me eating this broccoli. And the spirit be like, remember, don't you roll your eyes at me. Don't do that. And we go back and forth all day long. I journal. And then I'll try to hide. This is the funny part. So when I journal, before I go on like my little walks or my little adventures with Jupiter, right? I'll be like, I play scavenger hunting games. Okay. I'll put on the paper. I'll draw an image. That's how you know you tapped in. I'll draw a little image, and I'll be like, nope, don't look, don't look. And I'll make it real hard. And I'll be like, okay, tell me what I wrote. And then how about I'll start seeing that image that I drew everywhere, on billboards, on TVs, through text messages. And it's like, so the more you play, it's like being a child. Like all day long, I get to be a child. I'm very childish. So anyone I ever settled down with in my life, I'm very childish. I'm very playful, imagination wild, and we play this all day long. And then when I talk about it, when like as I go about my day, I'll be like, "So you saw how you found that? How about I saw it on this and this and this?" And I write it down. I journal it every day, all day long. I do it all day long. When I get mad, instead of ranting or picking up the phone and being like, "Girl, guess what happened?" I don't talk to people. I go to my journal and I write about it. And especially when I'm angry, I go to my journal, I write about it, and I burn it. It doesn't exist anymore. Or sometimes I'll use it and I'll craft. I'll create something from it. What, shift something so you eat it? Is it harder to read tarot for yourself? Every day before I start my day, I check in with myself. So before I get out of bed, before I show up for my children, before I show up for anybody else, before I get out of bed, I check in with my heart chakra. What am I feeling today? I journal about that. Before I consume or read anything, I don't read books. I don't read anything. Before I consume anything, um, whether it's through literature, whether it's through text message or food, I check in with my heart chakra. After I do that, I sit with myself before I even wake my children up in the morning. So 3 a.m., 4 a.m., my ass is up. What am I doing? I'm asking my spirit, what do I need to know for today? I'm pulling cards for myself. And then I sit with each card. And then I talk and write. And I wait for a response. And I be patient. I pour my cup of coffee. I pour spirit a cup of coffee. And we have a wonderful morning, every morning, early in the morning. How you doing? I do. And so I pull cards for myself and then I journal about it. I mean, now that I'm saying it out loud, all my friends are spiritual. And we be talking, we be laughing. So definitely the mornings is very important for me. My spiritual practice in the morning is very important to me. And then I'm able to show up for everybody else. But I do not skip a day. And I journal about it. If there's a card where I'm like, what does this really mean? Or I'm having anything um where it's like, okay, this card can mean anything. I'm not looking for answers. It's like pages on a book. So each card is like a page. Um, so it creates philosophy, conversation, dialogue. I mean, the sky's the limit. There is like no perception that you can't perceive, especially when you're reading for yourself, right? So even when I'm reading for the collective, I don't externalize my energy. I go within and I channel out. So I go into the realms of this big ass forehead that I have, and visions start happening, and then the wild stuff start happening. And then from there, I talk out loud and I see stuff. And then the more that I read for myself, and the more that I'm able to expand my consciousness, expand my perception, expand, then I'm able to bring it, come back down, and then interpret it at a level or a level of consciousness that I'm now aware that I'm communicating to. You get what I'm saying? That's the best way I can describe it. That's what it feels like. It feels like, okay, I see you, but spirit be like, bring it back down, bring it back down. And then I see like a very tiny door, like a little keyhole. And then the keyhole looks like a peek, like a peeking through this little keyhole. And then it's like, aha, I see it. And then I back up. And then I see it, and then it just comes, and then the story starts playing, and then I start seeing a movie trailer, and then that's how I do it. And that's the fun part is when you start to see the it's like a movie trailer. It really is the best way I could describe it. And that's why I close my eyes a lot when I'm doing it, because I'm seeing like a movie. And then other things come up. It's just wild. Like you got to do it. You have to like you don't need no psychedelics. You don't need anything to get you to a level. You just got to spend time sitting and being still. Just be still. Please come to Arizona. I need to meet you. One day, I'm sure, I'm sure one day we'll be able to. Wait, my third eye, I see like an eye winking. I'm learning tarot, and sometimes I get stuck reading for myself. I feel like when you get stuck reading for yourself, um, there may be something that's prohibiting you from seeing that close, right? So I feel like when you can't see, when you can't read for yourself, you're looking for answers. Like you can't really go into it looking for something. Like spirit doesn't really like you coming in. You know how your parents be like, mind your business, respect your elders. So, but if you're quiet and you're just sitting there and you're not asking questions, you start hearing everything. You have to be like that with spirit. Don't come in there loud and trying to ask questions and get answers and be with the elders and do all that talking. They're going to tell you, get out, mind your business. So you have to sit quietly and just observe and just absorb what the elders are saying. And then they will allow you to hear and see certain things. And they're like, okay. And then they like to see what you do with it. Now, if you take that information and you just like, okay, well, this is happening for me, they'll observe you. And it's like, okay, so you just over here ear hustling, you being grown, you being nosy, you know. So you have to, the spiritual realm is like ancestors. Don't do a lot of talking. Just be that kid that sits in the back and all the adults are telling all the tea and they telling all the business. And you just like, do, 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 do. I'm not even here. And then you'll know everything. But if you're trying to like, what's going to happen for me and what do I need to know? And they be like, mm, who do you think you're talking to? That's how, at least that's my experience. And I feel like even when I was a kid, all of my friends were adults. So I didn't have friends like that my age. My friends were elderly people. So as a child, My friends' parents used to come pick me up to bring me to their house so I could rub off on their kids. That's the type of childhood that I had. Okay. More is caught than taught. So I don't know. I just listen. I listen twice and respond once. And a lot of my responses are facial expressions. That's why I'd be like, sometimes, you know. So that's what I learned. That's what I learned. Yeah, I just sat with a lot of elderly people as a kid. So I kind of learned young to be seen and not heard, but I was very seen. Like I didn't have a lot of patience for children my age. They just was they was just ignorant. that, That's how I felt as a kid. I was just like, mm-mm. Common sense would tell you. I think I was a very true Taurus as a kid. It wasn't until I got older where I went through I went through my phases of rebellion very young. So crash course on life happens super young for me. But yeah, I would say if you are struggling, consider that patience because they'll wait if you push too hard to read for yourself. They may want you to learn by being an observer of other people and then force you to see about things about yourself through other people. I grew up young, didn't have a childhood. Yeah. I feel like I had a child. I played a lot and stuff like that. I just always hung out with older people. I just felt like I was able to hold more conversations because they would talk about more things that I was interested in. Like little kids don't want to talk about what's going on in the world. Little kids don't want to sit there and listen to adults dissect the news. No kids want to do that. But that was me. Now, I didn't want to be in the kitchen with you, cooking or none of that stuff. But I did want to sit there and listen to them talk. I didn't want to be there. Because sometimes I feel like when they put you in the kitchen, they just giving you busy work. That's not where the real tea is. The real tea is when you're sitting in the room and they're either on the phone or they're all sitting congregating together. That's where the tea is. They all congregate and then you see all these personalities and then you're like type A, type this, and you don't know what to categorize it at, but all of them have their personalities and then they become like stick figures. I don't know how to explain it, but you entertain yourself. Like when you don't watch TV as a kid, like as a kid, I didn't watch TV and stuff like that. So you in your mind, you entertain yourself. Like you feel me? Mm, yeah. But this has been fun. Make sure y'all read for yourselves and journal. Promise you, writing is the holy grail. I feel like if you write and you journal and you just keep like it's something about pen to paper. It's so it's so special. Like and with all the technology, they're like, oh, just pull up the little notes on your phone. No, you need to channel that energy through your hands. Like your hands are gifted, you know what I'm saying? And your body just knows things, but you'll never get to really awaken what your body remembers or will, remember from past lives, whatever you know, if you don't trial and error, you know? Like, I don't read instructions. You shouldn't read instructions. Just play with it, you know? Play with stuff. Try it out. See what it is. Press buttons. The worst that can happen is you have to start over. That's it. That's all. Yes, energy be flowing from them hands. So you gotta get that pen to paper. Don't lose manuscript. Don't lose, you know, the small stuff. Like, it's always been, isn't it interesting how there are writings on walls that people have left from years and years? That's always been fascinating. Archaeology, like, to know that people were here. Leave that around, like, right on trees, you know? Bury it in the ground. Get your hands dirty. We're down here to be explorers. So we got to explore this realm. It's so much out here. So much out here, man. But, I love you guys. You know, I just want to thank you for your words tonight. Oh, thank you. Happy Valentine's, y'all. Y'all are my Valentines. So I love y'all. Each and every single one of you, for real. Um, Thank y'all for spending your early Valentine's Day with TT, okay? I love y'all. For real, for real. I really do. And I'll see y'all in the morning. For real, I will. Thank you, Tamika. Good night, everybody.